Yesterday was 1052 days ago. For all of you, yesterday was, well, yesterday. For me, it was 1052 days ago. I always thought this kind of thing was just science fiction. We've all seen the movies. Groundhog Day, Happy Death Day, Russian Doll, etc. All of those movies make it seem like repeating the same day over and over again is for a specific purpose, and you eventually solve whatever great riddle awaits you. Believe me, I've tried. For almost 3 years now. The first day it happened, I thought it was a dream, or someone was playing a prank on me. The first stage of grief. Denial. Then, as I continued to repeat the same day, the other stages came. It was easy to be angry. What did I do to deserve this? Did I accidentally piss off God? Why choose Thursday, March 31st, 2022 as the day I had to repeat? Why not a day that's actually fun? Why couldn't I repeat an amazing day where amazing things happened? Of all the fucking days, this one? The most ordinary, boring day of all? As the anger passed, I entered the bargaining phase. I'd do anything to set things right. I just had to figure out what the fuck it was. It certainly didn't have anything to do with my job. The last day of the month is busy, but nothing special, and I work from home. I don't even see anyone. After a couple of weeks, I just gave up on work and started calling in every day. I stopped doing that for a while, but my boss would always call to check on me, so I just started sending the same text message every morning to call in sick and avoid it. That gave me more time to focus on the rest of my life. I'm married. No kids. My parents passed away when I was young. There are no family issues to solve. My marriage is good, or it felt like it was 1052 days ago. Now, it's just fucking boring. This is a busy day for my wife too. She has to work late. By the time she gets home, she wants to tell me about her day, eat dinner, and pass out on the couch. I've tried romantic things, but today just isn't the day for it. When I suggest we go out to eat, she gets excited, too. Do it Saturday night. Nothing is prying her off the couch after the day she's had, and there's no way for me to change that. I can't convince her to just skip work today, just like I couldn't convince her to do it any of the other times I tried over the course of these 1052 days. I've sent flowers. I've surprised her at work with flowers. Those things brighten her day, but they don't change the trajectory. She always ends up passed out on the couch from exhaustion, or going to bed early if I wake her up. Bottom line, if there's a problem in my marriage, I can't find it. We're happy, but we're normal, busy people who make plans for special dates and intimacy on the weekend, when we don't have to deal with everything else in the world. Why couldn't I repeat one of those days? At least it would give me something to look forward to every day. As the bargaining phase continued, I spent my evenings combing the news for stories that could need my attention. People I could save. Does an orphanage burn down in my town today or something? Does someone important fall off a cliff? Nothing that dramatic happens today. I've saved so many people I've lost count at this point. I've driven as far as I can. I booked flights and flew places. That was fun to try and explain to my wife. But nothing worked. I've been shot, stabbed, blown up, burned to death, and even tortured when one particular attempt got me tangled up with some dangerous people. I was happy to wake up the next morning after a few of those, and others, I was kind of disappointed, because I was simply tired of existing on Thursday, March 31st, 2022. After reaching the end of the bargaining stage, and feeling content that there was absolutely nothing I could do that was important enough to progress my life, depression set in. I started waking up and drinking. I'd be shit-faced by 11, and passed out on the couch by the time my wife got home. That didn't make my marriage any better. She'd be furious when she found out I just took the day off work and got drunk. By that point, I was just too depressed to care. I knew everything would reset, so what did it matter if she went to bed angry at me? When your life falls apart, it generally does so one day at a time, but when everything repeats, there's only so much you can do to burn it all down around you. If I get drunk today, I won't wake up with a hangover, because 1052 days ago, I didn't get drunk yesterday. My tolerance doesn't go up. I can't drink more than what it takes for me to pass out, and it's usually the same amount, give or take a drink, depending on the speed. My body doesn't become reliant on alcohol. I just get shit-faced like someone who rarely ever gets drunk, over and over. Eventually, even that lost its thrill. I decided to try other drugs. Why not? I get a clean slate. I OD'd on heroin my first time. That wasn't fun. It was one of the few nights my wife didn't fall asleep on the couch, because she was by my side in the hospital until everything reset. I've been through the drug gauntlet now. Some are fun, some aren't. Some are simply too much of a hassle to get and the payoff isn't worth it. It's all temporary anyway, and I'll have to do it again tomorrow if I want to acquire them again. About a year and a half into this nightmare, I entered the acceptance phase. That was a hard one. Work doesn't matter anymore. My life doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't seem like anyone else's life matters either. If there's someone I'm meant to save, I don't think I'll ever find them because I've stopped trying. I'm sad to say that I eventually cheated on my wife. Despite us being intimate only a few days ago in her timeline, for me, it had been almost 2 years, and it really started to feel like it too. I started out in a seedy massage parlor where a little extra money would get a happy ending, then progressed to finding strangers that would let me go home with them at bars. I accepted that I was going to wake up on March 31, 2022, and nothing I did would matter, even something as awful as violating my wedding vows. As more days passed, without actually passing, I just stopped caring. Now, I simply exist. I know how to get pretty much anything I could want today, but most of it doesn't pique my interest enough to try. I call into work. I spend my day fucking around at home, most of the time. When my wife gets home, I wait for her to pass out, then go to bed myself. I'm stuck in a time loop in the most boring day of my life, and I've decided that maybe this is hell in disguise. If I was being tested, I think I've failed by now. If some higher power had faith in me to do something grandiose that would allow my timeline to continue, then they've surely lost faith by now, and lost interest in me just like I've lost interest in my life. I'm sharing my purgatory with you for no real reason. It's just nice to write it out from time to time, so that I remember. Will I even care enough to do that by day 2052 or 3052, or 20,052? Probably not.